Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com, and welcome back to a rapid fire critique where I take 10 of your best photos and give them a critiquey McCritiquerson. Now, a lot of people have been requesting I start doing these again, so here they are. If you'd like to submit yours, go to bit.ly/FroCritiques, and this video is brought to you by FroPack1. 14 custom Lightroom presets. I'll show you more on that later. You can check them out at FroKnowsPhoto.com/presets if you want to get a jump start. So here we go. We've got 10 photos by Zobair Jadi, and the J may be silent, so it may be Adi or Yadi. I don't know, but let's start clicking on these photos and see what we have. First image, Nikon D7000 18-140 kit lens, which is a 3.5 to 5.6. I like looking at what it was shot with and just to get a better understanding of how I should be critiquing this. So we got a flamethrower. The fire is perfectly exposed. So the fire looks great. The person obviously isn't exposed very well. That's a huge ass fireball, I must say. Now, nice job exposing for it. I hope it wasn't in full auto, but if you were in auto, then it did a good job of exposing for it. In terms of an image, I like the fire breathing part. Not much light on the guy because you're exposing for the fire. There is a way that you could try to expose somewhere in between and then bring down the highlights for the fireball. But shit, it's a fireball. What else do I want you to do? I'm just looking for things on that one. Moving on to the next one, we've got a Key Cat, and this was taken with the same thing at f3.5 at... Where's the shutter speed? 1 second. Oh, that's where it is. That's why it looked weird. So 1 second. I actually like what's going on here. I like the fact that the kitty shows some movement at 1 second, but you still know that it's a kitty cat. In terms of processing, I would boomify it just a little bit, just throw in a little bit of contrast. A perfect preset would have probably been Universal Soldier that Steven has as part of our presets, but I'll show you more of those later. Maybe I'll start doing that more. Maybe I'll start telling you guys which preset would look good from our Lightroom pack. Kind of like, you know, hey, marketing, go look at our presets. Yeah, anyway, they only work on RAW files, not on JPEGs, remember that. But I like this photo. I like what's going on in terms of the attempt to get something different, the attempt to get some motion, but still be able to tell the story because the cat can still be seen properly. I like this shot. Really nice job with the processing. This is done at 18 millimeters with the 140 with the kit lens, 1/1000th of a second at 3.5. I just love the feel of this. Even at 3.5, it's almost an infinite focus, but I love the tones. It looks like it was shot on film just because of a little bit of the grain, a little bit of noise that was here, but this looks really great. The fact that they put the subject here on the bottom right-hand corner is good. I think they focused more back here on the boat than on the person here. Maybe I would consider focusing on the person more than the background. It just looks like it's more focused in the background, but it doesn't take away from it for me. I like the processing. I like where the subject is. I like the play between the bright-ass, well, the clouds and the ground, and the lines are straight. So very nice job on that one right there. This I can do without. I don't even know where it's focused. Same thing, shot at 18 millimeters. If I had to guess, the focus is somewhere right here on this railing right here. It should probably be on this person standing at the door. What also takes away from this image is everything happening on the right. You lose the color, the warmth that you had coming through this glass door with the door being open and the white balance being different outside. If I was to shoot this again, the composition would look more like this. Well, let me get that right. Let me get that composition right. And yeah, I see that I'd be cutting off the shadow down there, but you could also go vertical and do something like this. That would be a vertical. Or you could go horizontal and go something along the lines like this, or come in a little tighter and just do the 3 doors. Not 3 doors down, just 3 doors. Or maybe a little bit into the 4th door. Yeah, 4th do not enter sign could make that work too. Plus a little bit of shadow on the ground. You could try a bunch of different things with this. But I don't like the overall image. I like what the possibility of the image could have been if you just focused on the subject properly right here and did a better composition. All right, this is a top-down shot. It says this photo was taken at Kapatai, Bangladesh. It's one of the most popular tourist spots in Bangladesh. I mean, shit, it looks super popular and touristy because it's a water inlet or something. I don't know. I've never been to Bangladesh. Don't hold it against me. I'd like to go to Bangladesh. Skittles would look good with this one with a preset. Skittles makes everything go boomy. Not boomy. It goes colorful, punchy. It punches up those colors. This is fine. It's a top-down shot. There either is a bridge or it was done, well, it wasn't done with a drone because it says D7000. So you're shooting straight down. It's fine. There's nothing special that jumps out at me about this image. As part of a photo story, it probably would stand out more and do a better job. But in this case, it's okay. I don't know that a black and white would save it. Maybe a little bit more contrast or just running it through a different preset or tweaking the edit could be a little better. But it's just okay. It's nothing special. Okay, so now we go with 51.8 shot at 1.8 on that D7000. This is nice. See, I love when things that are out of focus are used to bring the subject into focus more in the middle, well, anywhere in the frame, to be honest with you. So I like what's going on in this image. I like the out of focus area draws you in to the center portion. I don't really like what's going on with the subject and it's not in focus. Just because you have a 1.8 doesn't mean you should shoot at 1.8, and if you do, you got to get that focus tack sharp. And with 1/200th of a second, it should have happened. But I will tell you from experience that the Nikon D7000 is not a great camera when it comes to autofocus. I have one, and I've had it since it came out, and one of the major issues I've had with it is back focusing. It always seemed to miss with it just seemed to miss. And people are like, well, did you calibrate your lenses? And I'm like, yeah, they work perfectly well on every other camera body except the D7000. So I've always spoke out against the quality of the autofocus in that one. But I like what's going on here. One thing I would have said to the subject is, give me your eyes. And I know when you're doing candids, you can't always talk to your subjects, but it's still okay to direct slightly when it comes to candids. This is a shot where I would say, hey, look, see, looking down, and then I'm like, give me those eyes. See the difference? I'm giving you those eyes. James Blunt has a song called Don't Give Me Those Eyes. Anyway, I like that song. So you see the difference? Looking up, this is where I would want her to look up and it would make it a better shot. I don't know what the hell is going on in this photo at all. This is taken with the 18-140 again, which is a very versatile lens, very good kit lens to start with. If you ever need to get a kit lens and start, 18-140, really nice range. Not the bestest of quality ever, but in this day and age, it's probably going to be really good enough, which is a good way to start. A risky journey, this is called. Young children are being traveled in risk by their parents and relatives in a train journey. Well, so let me break down what's going on in this image. There's some people sitting on top of a train that is probably moving, or no, it's not moving yet. But they're like, here, let me pass this kid up to the person on top of the roof because we don't have a ticket for inside, so we can sit, we don't have a ticket inside, but we got a roof ticket. So we can sit on the roof. It's safe. By safe, I mean not at all. And yeah, in terms of a photojournalistic shot, it's a good shot. Black and white, very good choice. This one, I'd run through my black and white Boomify or Kensington preset, which I'll show you shortly. That would make it, that would give it the look that I think I would like. But I do like your processing and your editing. It's a little flatter, a little grayer, neutral for my tasting. I like to pump it up a little more. But Jesus, look at this kid. He's just like hanging there from the roof, from somebody throwing him up on the thing. Yeah, that wouldn't fly here, but that's not here. Okay, so we got a seascape shot. Beautiful sunset at Cox Bazar. I like Cox Bazar myself sometimes. And this is done with the 18... I don't. I don't. Back to the image. I like this shot. Again, 18-140. What I like about this shot, the tones, the colors, the straight lines. Very nice job there. The exposure. I like that it's not fully silhouetted and you still see the people. That was a nice job. On top of that, what makes this image are the two people down here on the bottom. The fact that these people are right here makes this image even better because it adds some depth and dimension and some interest right here because I can see what they're doing as they're going through the water. I can see the people on the beach. Slight angle from the horizon looks really good. There's a Bodie McBoatface out there in the distance, and you've got the sun coming down. I really like this shot. I like the execution. Nice job. All right, so we've got same thing, f11, 1/15th of a second. What I like about this shot is that the person on the swing has motion blur. and the person sitting most likely doesn't. So when you're shooting images that have movement, it's okay to not always freeze that motion. It's sometimes really effective to convey motion in a still image. Remember, images are 2D. They're not three-dimensional. They're capturing something. They freeze action. But then on the other hand, you have the ability to allow motion to happen. And in this case, going with the slow shutter speed because somebody's on the swing, you're going to capture that motion and it adds some interest to the image. Don't worry that she's not sharp and in focus because we all understand that she's on a swing and it's conveying motion, which makes the image even better. I don't know that I like the plain processing on this in terms of the edit. I would like to see this in black and white because the focus is the guy on the bench, the girl on the swing. I think it's a girl because of the long hair, and I'm going to go with the dress right there. And I don't think that the color adds to it. I think more on a photojournalistic side, it would be better as a black and white. Possibly Boomify, possibly Kensington could make this look well. You'll see that in a second. But I do like this photo right here. Moving on, I like this as well. Done with the 18-140, all done with the 18-140. Again, it's a very good kit lens to start with. I love the range and I love what this person is able to capture with their D7000 and this. The colors, everything looks nice. Maybe I'd pump in a little more contrast. That's personal taste right there, but I like what's going on. You've got the leading line so you can follow this track, this raised something. The photo was taken at Langkawi, Malaysia. Langkawi, got it. So I like it. I like what's going on. I don't know if this is fire or some processing. Fire! I don't know if that's processing or whatnot, but this photo's okay. Not the greatest in the world, but it's a good photo. And I believe that is it. So let's go back to the album real quick and take a quick gander. I love this black and white. This one could have been better with the crop. Love what's going on with this throwing the kid up on the top of the train. That looks safe. Like this photo. So I think 1, 2, 3, that was a half, 4. Probably if I was giving halves to this and a half to this, we'll give it about 5 out of 10 in terms of quality, what I really like, which is good. Even if there's 2 images that I like, I'm perfectly happy with 2 out of 10 being good as well. Even if you just got 1 out of 10, and then you could learn from it and follow the direction. So now, let me show you the presets before we get out of here. This is FroPack 1. FroPack 1 is 14 custom Lightroom presets that are not only going to save you time, because it saved me a hell of a lot of time by just having my very own Boomify preset, but also on something like Acid Wash or Waffle House, there's a lot more going on than just a couple of sliders being moved. So something like that could take you 5-10 minutes to edit, but being able to have a preset that could do it, check it out. Well, that's good. This is the before, and then boom, that's the after. So that's what that, let's run through them. We got color, we got black and white Boomify. That's the color, press of a button, black and white Boomify. I do want to remind you that with presets, that the one thing we can't do is change the exposure. So for a lot of mine, for my black and white Boomify, I end up having to raise my exposure a little bit because I crush the blacks in there. But it works for a lot of images. Doesn't work for all of them. Presets don't work for all images, but when they do work, there's some that are like, oh, Jesus, there's 5 images 5 presets that work with this one image. So Waffle House is pretty cool. You've got Acid Wash, which gives you this filled with orange and blue undertones. Look at that. Boom. This was the one I was talking about earlier, Kensington. So there's 2 versions of Kensington that you get, one with grain, one without grain. Then some of these come with vignette and without vignette. This is my color Boomify. Boom. I love this. If these are for you, right now they're 40% off. You can go to FroKnowsPhoto.com/presets, add it to your cart. There's a bunch of them for you to play with. Go ahead and play with these sliders. That's it. Those are that's the FroPack 1. Check it out. It's still 40% off. You can get it for $30, which isn't bad at all. Download them, use them instantly, and let's see how your photos look. So if you want to submit your images for critique, go to go to bit.ly/FroCritiques. You can submit your best 10 images. That's where I'm going to leave it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya.